Hey everybody, welcome back. Oh man, it is such a beautiful day today. What a great day. I'm telling you. I had a little bit of a hiccup this morning. But other than that, what an awesome day. Hey, welcome back. I am so glad that you made it. You know, I get so used to doing these videos that I just so often I just make them. I don't try to plan anything. I don't write anything down. I don't try to remember anything. And that's how I run my recovery too. It's just one day at a time, one video at a time, one step at a time, right? And we've been talking lately, or the last 2 days rather, that, acceptance and forgiveness are two things that we're going to need to work on in our recovery if we want to have a successful journey forward, right? And what is our journey forward? Our journey forward is long-term recovery, right? Long-term sobriety and sobriety and recovery from the things that kept us, weak, that kept us tied to a drug or a behavior or an action or something that maybe we just, we couldn't fix. And it's come to this. And so when we approach our life, like, if you want to quit smoking, if you want to quit chewing, if you want to quit swearing, if you want to quit doing this, you want to quit doing that, what is the very first thing that you got to do when you want to change something? Well, you got to recognize that there is a need for change. How are we going to change it? When are we going to change it? Who are we going to change it with? Are we going to allow the same old people to do the same old things to us? No, we're going to have boundaries. And those boundaries come with time, right? You can't just all of a sudden now be Mr. Boundaries. You can, but people are going to notice that and you might push people away. But that's okay, because the people that you're going to push away are the people that don't understand boundaries, don't have boundaries themselves, or aren't interested in following other people's boundaries. So when we talk about recovery, acceptance, forgiveness, boundaries, commitment, dedication, perseverance, right? And let's focus on acceptance and forgiveness, okay? When we come into a program, what do we have to do? We have to admit that we have a problem, right? And we have to want to seek a better way. That's all in the first couple steps of AA. And when we turn the corner with that understanding that there is a power greater than us that helps us, you're relinquishing the control. You're giving up the control just by simply believing. You're allowing that faith to transform your life. Amen? Amen? Does that not how it works? Whether you're Christian, whether you're Buddhist, whether you're Zao, whether you're Tao, whether you're Hindu, whether you're this or that. For me, I know God's working in my life. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to have a voice. And we have to stand tall and strong on the things that we believe in. And I believe in and have a faith that God is my, ultimate caretaker, if you will, or whatever. Here on earth, I'm in charge, right? The flesh is in charge here on earth. So we got to somehow have a good balance and a good flow of discernment, forgiveness, this ability, this attribute, that attribute. And when we come into a good program, we're going to want to share it with other people, because other people are just spinning their wheels. I've done that so many years. There were so many times where I didn't know how I was going to quit drinking. I somehow miraculously, I'm blessed, right? Was able to quit drugs, and I had to. You know what, you guys? I just appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate everybody taking the time to like and to consider liking and sharing my messages. I really appreciate it, you guys. It goes a long ways, and I really appreciate everybody's support. Moving forward in the recovery program that we work, we need to watch out for each other. So if you see something, say something. God bless you guys. I love you. I'll see you on the next one. Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, you are out in the shop with me again, and today, actually this afternoon, I had a little bit of change of plans. I had some stuff come up. Man, what a hectic day. But apart from that, I wanted to come on and share with you guys a little information and a little know-how, tips and tricks about step 7, which is humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. So one member of the program says this: I definitely have the alpha male do it and get it done without help from anyone else mentality. Do you guys have that mentality? I do too sometimes. So like step 7, it is like step 6. It'll also help you lead to emotional maturity and to move away from the childish sense of entitlement that we have discussed throughout the book. So those areas of our life, emotional maturity and entitlement, are in fact quite connected. just like when we talk about acceptance and forgiveness. So many of us men and women got sober but remained little boys and girls in terms of our attitudes and actions. Emotionally, we are, as another man in the recovery dubbed it, King Baby, an adult who still feels he has to get his way at all costs and no matter who he harms. King Baby is the ultimate embodiment of men's distorted entitlement, reacting to our emotions and driven by our self-centered neediness and fear. We think primarily of ourselves and what we want, and we expect others to bend over backwards to provide it for us. This is ringing true. This is why I'm sharing it with you guys. So we are often oblivious to how our actions may affect others and what they need. So as King Baby, we reign supreme in the desert of our own kingdom. Many times we get away with living in this bubble of entitlement because we are men. Either we have men in our lives who act like a wall of our behavior, providing strict boundaries and merciless feedback that help us grow, or we go on living this way into our recovery. We live out our wounds, afraid to go deeper with the steps, and we find ourselves wondering why it seems so challenging to maintain relationships and to feel comfortable in our skin. So we have a great deal of difficulty trying to live in a community that values love, tolerance, honesty, and respect, because we feel great tension when our old beliefs and behaviors contradict those principles. So Rich said, I have returned to the values I learned and believed in as a boy and a younger adult. More accurately, my behaviors are changing to more closely reflect my value system. The challenge for me is seeking help in comporting my behaviors to my moral values. So we struggle to successfully live in the world, to be a part of it rather than apart from it. Alcohol and other drugs once propped us up. They were the glue holding us together, it seemed. Now that they're gone, we are forced to face ourselves completely and honestly. We must do this, or we risk relapse or death. So Quinn says, the experience of having a mirror held up to my face and being confronted lovingly has been a revelation of sorts. I have felt supported as an imperfect man, and this program has been a safe place for me to examine my imperfections and focus on progress. The central experience of our mutual failure and of our acceptance of one another, who we actually are, and has been the primary agent. So the discipline of examining our defects of character and humbly asking God to remove them is never ending. We are never done with this step, you see, and nor should we be. We confront the facts in steps 4 through 6 that will never be perfect, but step 7 will help us become the men and women that we wish to be. So it's character building over conflict, right? Because we used to build a lot of character through conflict, but really we're choosing to humbly ask God to remove the defects of character that we got, or the things that we don't like about ourselves, or that isn't jiving with our new life in recovery. So hey, if you guys haven't got this book, you guys need to check it out. It's A Man's Way Through the 12 Steps. It's a derivative of the Alcoholics Anonymous program, but some of these books, they're so spiritually, how do I say that? You know, these books provide such a foundation for us in how we need to live our life, right? So this 12 steps could really be whittled down to about 6, and we get them into sections, and really in the middle, we're doing what we can to survive, right? To get to the point where we can actually breathe a little in recovery, and that's what the steps are going to provide. It's going to provide some leeway, a buffer for us. And when we start to be able to work the 12th step, right, which is helping other people, but that's what it is. It's service. So at the end, we learn about service. So let's focus on 7 for a few days. I like that. Love you guys. God bless.